Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Steve Evans. I work at the University of Cambridge, and we're going to talk a little bit about circular economy, or more accurately, I'm going to rant. And let's start, because we do love a metaphor. The circular economy itself is a metaphor. The circle is not always a circle. In fact, I would suggest when we brought that language of circularity across from nature, we sort of misunderstood nature a little bit. I don't know any animals that eat their own poo. In fact, I don't know of a phylum that does. Mammals tend not to eat mammal poo. But clearly something does, otherwise the world would be knee-deep in mammal poo, wouldn't it? So the meaning of that for the industrial system that we're interested in is that you've got to cooperate with strangers. That typically the people that you already know, the sector that you already know, may not be the best place to use your waste. And that means meeting strangers. And I think that's an interesting challenge and one of the reasons why networks are really important. If I want to take the natural metaphor a little further, we don't just do what animals do and poo and leave it outside and not worry about it. If that happens in nature, something has already evolved to eat that poo. But imagine that a new animal is created that generates a new form of poo. Eventually, that poo will be so abundant that something else will evolve to deal with it. It's a free food source with no competition. Evolution will take care of it, but those sorts of timescales are not available to us. Part of what we're trying to do is speed up that evolution. We're trying to create those systems where the poo is made available, the waste, people can see and understand it and value it, and other people can come along and grab it and turn it into other valuable materials. So if we think that cooperation is necessary, so is coordination. And in fact, we often have a language of system design, as if somebody somehow is in charge of the whole picture and going to put all of the pieces together. And of course, there is no such being for the circular economy. So one of our implementation challenges is coordinating implementation to get it to work well together. Our research tells us about other generic problems of the circular economy. Incumbency. We've always done it this way. The market and the supply of materials is intermittent, and that makes it really challenging to schedule because most industrial systems don't have intermittent market and intermittent supply of materials. The future performance of your supply is difficult to predict. What if the organization that sends you their waste goes bust? All of a sudden, your business is entirely tied to the success of their business. And that's how circularity might work if we implement it poorly. So implementation is difficult. But I would also like to encourage us to see circularity in a really big way. For every 1.5 tons of car that you might buy, and you imagine, what are we going to do with that car at the end of its life? For every 1.5 tons of car you buy, there's about 18 tons of production waste. There's about 50 tons of fuel. There's 100 kilograms of cleaning materials. And there's about 300 kilograms of spare parts. There are lots of other material flows interacting with the one that we can so easily observe, the car itself. And that's true of all of the systems that we work with. So the good news is there's lots of opportunity out there to grab waste, to work out what's valuable in that waste, and to turn that into a fantastic business idea. In fact, it's so easy. We take school children on treasure hunts into factories. They can see something and go, but that's valuable. Why are you throwing it away? And I would encourage us all to start those conversations, find the things that are valuable and find the mechanisms of coordination and cooperation across us all so that we throw away a lot less waste. Thank you.